Hello, everybody. We have made it to midterms. So you guys took your midterm exam this past week. So we have gotten through half of the class, which is quite exciting, especially because it feels like we just started a couple of weeks ago. But even though we have made it halfway through, we still have half a semester to go. So I'm going to talk a little bit to you guys about what we are expecting going forward in the semester. We're also going to concentrate on our semester project, which is a critical literary analysis. So this is going to be a paper you are writing about one or perhaps more of the text within the class that we have read so far, or that is on the schedule going forward. So, one of the things I want to do is point out that we have had a copy of the assignment sheet. I talked to you guys in class about this, but I posted this pretty early on in the semester in case you were the type of person who plans ahead and wants to just go ahead and get on top of things. But I've got another copy here in this folder just so you will have it close to where I will be posting the video, which will be right here. So if we take a look at the critical literary analysis, you have the option of downloading this if you need to download it or print it off. But we can see here it is due April 12th. Um, so we've got a little bit over a month to get this project done. And this will be due on a Saturday night, I believe. If you are watching this in a future class, so not spring of 2025, your due date may be different, but the due date on the syllabus and on the current version of this assignment sheet should reflect your correct due date. And I have some information here on what you're going to be doing, kind of what this project is going to look like, and also suggestions about where to start or how to approach this project. So, a literary analysis is going to be where you take one or more of the text and you do what's called a close reading. So, this is not going to be just a book report. You're telling me more than just what happens in the story or plot points or even character development, but you're going to be approaching it from a certain type of angle. That is what a literary analysis is a close reading of a text. The reason why we call it a critical literary analysis is that you do have to have secondary evidence. So for the literary analysis, you will approach it in some sort of argument, and you will have primary and secondary sources. The primary source will be the text itself. So if you are writing on Gilgamesh, that will be your primary source that you're coming from. So you'll use textual evidence such as quotes from Gilgamesh, or maybe summaries of different actions that have happened within the text. And then secondary sources are going to be where other experts in the field have gone and studied this text and written about it, similar to what you're going to be doing from a specific angle with some sort of debatable thesis. So this could include literary journals, articles from those, books written about this, um, excerpts from textbooks, book reviews. But these do need to be credible scholarly sources. We will have a research workshop where we look at how to find these sources and how to kind of pick the best ones. So we will work on that as well as a class. And of course, since this is a paper that's taking some sort of viewpoint, you will have to have a specific debatable thesis. So you're not just restating something that's already been said before about the text, you are making your own contribution to the scholarship. This is my suggestion on where to start. I like to suggest that you guys pick something that either really stuck with you, so whether you really enjoyed reading it, or maybe you had a hard time understanding it, but after you went back and did some more exploring or watched a lecture in class, it made you understand it more. Because sometimes the things that we struggle with most can sometimes also make the best argumentative paper. So if you have a question about a text, exploring that question could lead to your thesis and also your paper. You can also focus on a specific theme, a character, a socio-political issue present in the text. So, for example, when we did our kind of comparison of the political statements being made through artistic expression, I gave you guys the example of the Super Bowl performance by Kendrick Lamar that you broke down, versus something like Oedipus Rex written by Sophocles. Those are some comparisons you could easily make into a paper as well. So pretty much any element from the story or text, you just have to approach it in a specific way. The important thing is that it is debatable and you can back it up with your research. We're going to be doing some brainstorming. We've already been practicing analyzing text during class, so you're not going to be going into this a complete novice. One thing I do want to go back and mention, when I say that you can do it on one or more of the text, this means that if you pick more than one text, they need to be in conversation with each other or centered around a specific theme or question or character arc. So, for example, earlier in the semester, when we compared and contrast the story of the flood between Gilgamesh and the Old Testament, we're talking about two different texts, but we're putting them in conversation with each other. This does not mean you can write half your paper on The Tempest and then half your paper on Sunjata, but they don't have anything in common and you don't connect them in any way. That's another thing I wanted to point out. You do have free reign when it comes to which text you want to pick from, even if it's something we have not read yet. If there is something within this time period, so basically the beginning of time up through Shakespeare's times, that we haven't covered in this class that you're interested in, that you would like to write on, maybe something you've read before in a different class or on your own, just approach me first with your suggestion of what you would like to work with, and we can probably work something out as long as it fits within the time frame that we are working in. Excuse me, y'all. These are the basic requirements. So it does need to be in MLA format, and with citations, including a works cited page. It should be in Times New Roman 12-point font. 1 to 2 primary sources from the assigned readings or within that same time frame, and at least 2 secondary scholarly sources. This does not mean a Cliff Notes or Spark Notes or somebody else's blog or summary that they wrote online. So sorry. This should be something that is peer reviewed and trustworthy. It is a minimum of 900 words, maximum of 1,200 words. So roughly a 3 to 4, maybe 5-page paper, depending on how your paragraphs are spaced out. It's on the shorter side, but that is because I'm more concerned with your deep analysis of the text and you interacting with these secondary sources than I am a huge word length or page length. And it has to be submitted to Blackboard as a Word document. I do need to change this. PDF actually is fine now, because I'm able to go in and leave comments on PDFs now on Blackboard. But it needs to be a uploaded file, not a link to anything, especially not to Google Doc. If you need to see how to change a Google Doc into a Word document or a PDF, I'll be showing you guys in class, or I can show you one-on-one if you forget. For this week, I know you guys just finished a midterm, so I don't have anything too big for you guys to work on. Of course, going forward, I would like you to go ahead and start thinking about which text you would like to write on so you can start getting some ideas together. But we are not going to be really working on the paper, or at least not in class, for a couple more weeks. I do have this midterm reflection here. And this is just nothing that you have to come up with, just 250 words. So a nice, healthy paragraph, kind of reflecting on the semester so far. So this can be what you've learned so far in the semester, what you hope for us to do going forward, maybe some activities that you liked, or discussions that you liked that you wish we could do more of, or something that I haven't done yet. So if there's something maybe more interactive, um, or something you've done before in another class that you think would be suitable for our learning environment, go ahead and suggest it for me. There is an access code on here. So since you are watching this video, you have access to the access code. And the access code is going to be 870104. So we have the access code right here for you guys to utilize. Trying to make sure we're watching the video and we're watching it all the way through. And I will leave this open through midnight. I know some I had said in the past most things we're going to turn in at 5, but I'll go ahead and leave this open um, for all of tomorrow. Of course, we're going to be going on spring break. But if you need anything from me or have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. And I hope you guys enjoy your break um, and get some rest. And we will come back ready for the rest of this semester. I'll talk to you guys later. And I'll see you guys after the break.